Hey there everybody, this is Rob.
Brendan.
And today we're going to give you our exclusive review on Kickass, the movie that came out this weekend. It's based on a comic book series by Mark Millar and John Romita Jr. And it's sort of like this Valentine and kind of almost parody-ish comic books with superheroes and with film and TV. So this is definitely a movie, I think, Brendan, where it definitely shows its love for the superhero films. And I gotta say, when I first saw the trailers for this movie, I thought it was going to be just a parody, but it turns out, after I found out, it's actually based on a comic book series, and it definitely is a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it's you were just saying, you're calling it parody, homage. It's a great action comedy in my opinion. Nothing parody about it. I don't think they try to downplay the superhero genre. If anything, this is another entry to the superhero movies like Iron Man, Dark Knight, and Watchmen. The way someone described this movie to me was that if you take like the action of Watchmen and sort of the humor, the realistic humor, I guess, sort of, and banter of Superbad and put it in a movie, that this would be it. The gunfights in this are just spectacularly done. I mean, the character of Hit Girl, I think, is going to enter pop culture and stay there for a long time. I mean, she's one of the most interesting characters in a superhero movie, I think, ever. Just this little girl going around shooting all these gangsters in the heads. I mean, it's incredibly bloody, it's incredibly violent and over the top. And that's what I think the best part of the movie is the over-the-topness of the action and the humor.
Yeah, well, I didn't hate this movie, but I didn't really like it either. I mean, I thought it started off really great. The lead character, Dave, is someone I could relate to. He's a nerd in high school, and he's into comic books. And by the middle, I thought it was very uneven. There were some good, funny little bits, but then it's like you said, this movie is definitely over the top, especially with the fights. And the last act of the movie, I thought, was probably the best out of everything. It was definitely the most entertaining, but I thought some of the voiceovers with Dave when he's doing his, like his Spider-Man-esque voiceover, sometimes it could be a little bit, I thought, was intrusive. Sometimes I felt like we needed, but sometimes I felt like it was just there. But I thought it was an alright movie, but you made a prediction about Hit Girl being in the pop culture. I predict this movie is going to be a cult film because based on other reviews I've read, people who really like it, and people who didn't like it, like Roger Ebert and Michael Phillips, it's like people are really going to like it or people are really going to hate it. I think that's one of the things about cult films. Like if you look at Rocky Horror or Harold and Maude, they can be a little bit over the top at times.
Another point to bring up is the soundtrack is amazing. I particularly loved how they used a piece of music from the film 28 Weeks Later, to which you've probably heard the music. If you haven't seen the movie, you've probably heard the music because they've used it a lot, but they use it in one scene involving Nicolas Cage's character just taking apart all these gangsters in a warehouse. And another point to bring up is Nicolas Cage doesn't suck in this movie like he does in almost every other film he's in. And his whole father-daughter relationship with Hit Girl was great. I almost felt like they could have done the whole movie about that, because from their first scene so the last one together is just a terrific relationship right there, and I thought the movie should have gone more into that.
Yeah, I thought Mark Strong as the villain, Frank D'Amico, was probably my favorite character in this whole movie. He was everything you would want in a stereotypical evil villain from a superhero films. He was really great. He could be hilarious. He could be cold and mean. I just really liked that.
Yeah, he did a great job. I loved his whole gangster, like all the gangsters and the whole gangster environment, because pretty much whenever you make a movie involving gangsters, you have to reinvent like what gangsters are. And I love this movie's version. Like they're kind of goofy and stuff like that, but they got some good one-liners. And I love the scene with Mark Strong in the car with his son, and they're running a little late for the movies, and you can hear them shoot one of the gangsters in the background. I just thought, this is great. I mean, the comic humor of it isn't for everyone, because it's kind of it's very morbid and a little morally offensive, but I think this movie is very relevant to the times. Without a doubt, and I think that's why a lot of critics have jump onto it as well, because the kid characters in this movie are like people who I know, like that's the kind of banter people actually have. It doesn't feel labored.
And you mentioned that some people aren't going to get into it. That's why I think this is going to be a cult film. I could see. I mean, I could tell that in the movie theater, some people were laughing at stuff, and I was sitting there going, "What the hell did I just miss?" With all that.
Any movie with a little 11, 12-year-old girl racking up the highest body count in the movie is going to be a cult film. Not everyone's going to want to see that, but it's going to be a cult film.
Yeah.
Yeah, something we missed earlier. We were mentioning how this sort of does acknowledge other like superhero movies like Spider-Man and stuff like that. And I love how the Big Daddy Nicolas Cage character, every time he's in the Big Daddy costume, he's channeling Adam West completely.
Yeah,
like just his mannerisms, you can tell it completely confuses everyone he talks to. I mean, he really tries to push it.
We had an argument on the way back about this. I really enjoyed the subplot of Dave when he's not Kick-Ass, but you liked the Kick-Ass stuff because he's...
Well, I like it because Dave kind of answers his own question at the beginning of the movie. Like the whole film, he's kind of answering it to himself when he asks, why hasn't anyone actually been like a superhero? Why hasn't anyone actually put on a costume and fight crime? And he goes through it and he kind of learns why no one has done that.
Yeah, because he sucks.
Exactly. The character of Kick-Ass does not kick ass.
Yeah, he's one of the few superhero leads where you can't really root exactly for the main character like you would for Spider-Man or Batman.
He's in over his head.
Yeah, definitely.
As opposed to, Big Daddy and Hit Girl, who are completely that's their ballpark. Yeah, that's all they do.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess we're both giving this a see it verdict, but again, let us know what you think. Did you really like this movie? Did you hate it? And of course, tell us what you thought about the video. Okay, well, I guess that's it for now. So, you know what to do. Leave us your comments. We'll see you later.
See ya.